With ABCI, and I am here with Ryan Keogh of Cutter Aviation.
Hello.
And anyway, how has the show been for you so far?
Well, it's actually been a very, very good show. Cutter Aviation, this is kind of our backyard. We're based in Phoenix, Arizona, so for us, having a show here on the West Coast for once has been great because a lot of our customers that have known us for years have been coming to our booth, have been talking with people we haven't seen for 5 or 6 years, are finally coming back, which I think is a good indicator of two things.
Okay.
I said it's a great indicator that people are still around in aviation, that we've known, and that are our customers, and that are still making a business out of it, but also people that may have not had the ability or maybe didn't have the budget to come to the show in the past. Now we're coming back, so maybe the industry is being rebounded a bit, and that's a very, very encouraging sign. It's been so positive. Everybody's been very, very positive about it's just infectious. Everybody's just they're happy about being here. They're happy to meet up with friends and actually talk about how we're going to unite together and actually attack these issues that we're dealing with here in general aviation, corporate aviation. So it's been overall a fantastic show.
Well, that's great. Yeah, I think last year the economy was down and everyone was kind of shocked by that, I guess. And now people are kind of coming out of it and deciding if something's going to happen, we're going to make it happen.
Exactly.
And, yeah.
We have to be. And the thing that I absolutely love about our industry is that we are an industry of our own innovators. We will sit down because we're problem solvers.
Yeah.
Corporate aviation is about solving problems, and we are not going to sit like large corporations or engineering firms or something. Everybody has their own little silo that they sit in. Corporate aviation, we're people that wear many hats, and we will sit down and we will find ways to work and build our industry and actually build up our own business or support a smaller flight department or work with a better FBO or just generally communicate and work things out, which is one of the great things. So we're seeing a lot of people actually doing a little bit more of their own internal marketing, maybe actually setting up a little bit more communication network, doing things a little bit differently and trying to challenge the convention that we've traditionally had in the past and actually doing it a little bit different this time around. So that's one of the great things I'm seeing too is that we're sitting down and we're actually problem solving. And I think that's one of the great things we'll see about attacking the various issues and getting involved with the government and getting our industry back on track. Is we'll sit down and we are problem solvers, so we can find a way to get out there and reach out to the media, reach out to the general public, and actually educate them about what general aviation does for us. So.
And make stuff happen.
Exactly.
Well, and that's what Cutter Aviation, I think, has been doing for a really long time, is you have people that come in the door with everything from how do I get my dog from here to there to I have this Warbird or I have this really bizarre airplane that needs a part and all kinds of crazy things.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's one of the great things about our company is that we have been here. Everybody talks about experience. Experience in aviation is key, and we've been around for 83 years. In 1928, we started up, and it was right after commercial aviation officially started in 1926. I mean, that was a definition. So we've been around just about as long as airplanes have been able to make money for people. And during that entire time, we've always had a philosophy that everybody that comes to our doors, their family. Everybody who is looking for any help with aviation, we're here to provide that service to them. And even if we don't directly have the ability to help them, in-house, we will work with them to find solutions. We're a solutions company. We don't just provide fuel. We don't just provide aircraft sales. We don't just provide maintenance and avionics support. We provide solutions, and that's one of the great things about being America's oldest FBO chain is that we're solution providers, and we have a lot of people that they're dedicated to us and loyal to us, and we're glad to have them as customers. So.
Well, that's excellent. Yeah, and I know you're also I don't know if you wanted to mention, you also do the Warbird Radio,
Mm-hmm.
and that's something else.
That's
really
true.
enjoy that.
Yeah, that's a little side hobby of ours, or of mine at least, is the fact that entertainment and internet broadcasting and actually publishing and getting out there in a niche industry, for all these like little hobbies and stuff that people have. It's easier than ever to do that, and it's great because Warbird Radio allows me to get on with other people from halfway across the country and talk about things that we're excited about, and then that is listened to by people that are excited about that. I mean, before, could you imagine turning on your AM radio station and turning on your local radio station and hearing something as focused and tight of a topic as Warbirds?
As Warbirds,
yeah.
Exactly.
I think I only remember like the gardening show was like that kind of thing, the green thumb. But you can do that. That's how the internet's working these days.
Mm-hmm. People who are interested in these very small subjects and are very passionate about them have this venue.
Exactly. And it's not just the weird public access TV channels anymore. It's fantastic high quality stuff. And for me, it's been wonderful because aviation is a family, and there's a lot of people here in this industry, in business aviation, that are also recreational pilots that fly Warbirds, that fly things on the inside, crew members, volunteers for museums, and connecting with them here. It all creates this wonderful synergy that those who appreciate the past of aviation then can appreciate the future and want it to go along. Because if you don't have that connection, you don't have that burning passion about what you do in your industry, then you might not care what happens in the future.
Right.
But this helps. It's fantastic to be able to see everybody so excited about aviation and be able to talk about multiple topics.
Right. Well, that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about watching you and watching your tweets and things like that is that you've been combining being helpful to people with practical aviation problems and also that passionate side of this interest that not very many people may be interested in or may know about, but the people who are so involved with these warbirds and they are so passionate about their preservation and being able to fly in these great machines.
It's history. I mean, and we look at. I mean, for me, it was my grandfather was in World War II, and though he wasn't in the Air Force, he was or at the time the Army Air Corps. He was a ground pounder, but we just knew about. I learned about World War II from him, and most of the veterans are dead on a very regular basis.
Yeah.
And it's sad because we are no longer able to enjoy their stories or actually learn from them. And people like myself and my friends and everybody in the Warbird industry that are keeping airplanes flying, they're the ones that are actually keeping the history alive. And the legacy of those pilots and those crew members, maintenance technicians, everybody believes in. And so it's part of American history that I think is very, very important. So.
Right, it's great to keep that alive while we still have the opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah, that window closes. Great. Well, Ryan, we've been talking for about 2 years now. We've met at a NBAA conference, and we met before that on social media.
Exactly.
And things. And I know you've been involved with our company, ABCI, and you've participated, commented on our blogs, a couple of things like that. So, yeah. How has that been for you?
Well, one of the things I absolutely love about ABCI, and it's funny because when I first started in aviation marketing, you couldn't go out and you couldn't type in aviation marketing, come up with anything that was a resource for aviation marketing. Everything was generalized marketing. It was we were talking about the 4 Ps and that kind of thing, and it was almost like you had to translate into practical application into your industry. And when I came across ABCI, it was the first time I'd actually seen you and your team translating those things for us and making it not something that it was completely hard to understand and was a lure into be our customer and this huge thing that marketing in and of itself. I mean, it's a big terror word for people. People say marketing. They think expense.
Yeah.
When it comes right down to marketing is most effective at the most grassroots level. And it's about connecting with your customer, and it's about learning about your customer, finding their needs, and serving them. And once you do that, then developing that relationship and keeping that loyalty going as much as you possibly can. And this was the first time that I was able to actually see somebody like yourself talking about that and making it accessible. And it was more of a community feel that I felt like you were connecting part of different businesses within our industry and making us feel like we could actually do this. And again, solving problems.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a rocket scientist to market. You don't need to have a marketing degree to market. There are there's so many individual entrepreneurs in aviation, and that's again another big thing. Is aviation is about small businesses and working through problems and getting things done with a small staff, with a very, very tight budget and such.
Right.
And it's not something that should be ignored, and it's something that anybody can do.
Yeah.
You just need to focus on certain things. You need to learn and educate. And it's not a heavy educational piece, but it's something that is there. And you were making it so much easier because it was bite-sized. It was breaking it down into something that everybody can understand. And then again, you're also looking at the advancement of marketing, going beyond the expensive stuff like advertising and things that most people would say, oh my God, we can't send it.
afford that.
Exactly. Utilizing the term inbound marketing, where all of a sudden people come to you, and the reason why they come to you is because you're an expert now. You're positioning yourself as an expert. You're reaching out to the community, not just the community as a whole in your business area, but also reaching out to the internet community, to the people who are customers through social media, through email marketing, through traditional print marketing, and finding ways to make it more accessible and easy in each way. Because all it is, it's about tenacity.
Exactly.
And you're absolutely right about that.
Persistence
and planning.
Yeah.
And again, if you don't have a plan, if you don't have the persistence, you're going to fail. But you know what?
No matter how much money you spend.
Exactly.
That's true.
If you're going to be, as a business owner, you're not going to go to a small business loan provider and you're not going to say, I'm going to start a business and not have a business plan prepared.
Right.
So why would you ever try to market your company if you didn't have
a plan?
Exactly. And it's not sitting down and writing a 150-page document and stuff.
Exactly.
It's just beginning those steps.
And having the strategy.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I've always loved about ABCI is that you're more concerned with being a partner, helping us along the way.
Right.
Not just providing the services as a exclusive. You're only going to work with us, and that's it. You're willing and able to work in whatever capacity and be flexible into any plan that any company is willing to do, from large to small.
That's one of the reasons that you and I kind of ended up working together, or ended up doing a lot of things together, is because your company helps people whether or not they're clients. They're all family.
Exactly.
And that's kind of our philosophy as well. We really want to help people whether or not they're buying anything from us. We just want to stop them from doing bad marketing.
Exactly.
Or wasting money.
That is true. And you know what? And I always believe that things come around because our industry is a small industry.
Yeah.
There are a lot of us that will, if we don't do business together, we're at least colleagues. And if I come across somebody that says, "Oh, I need help with this," or "I don't understand SEO," or "I don't understand how to put together a marketing plan," or "I don't understand this email marketing," it's where do I even start?
Yeah.
I can say, go to ABCI. Check out their website. Subscribe to the RSS feed. Get on the email list. Start to look at this because it's accessible. It's easy. It's able to be worked out. And so it's kind of like karma. Everything comes back. We're all in a community. We're all helping each other, because if my business succeeds, if your business succeeds, if everyone else's business succeeds, then our industry. Exactly.
That's very true. Well, thank you so much, and I hope you have the rest of a really great show.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope you do as well. So I appreciate the time.
Okay, thanks, Ryan.
Take care.
You too.